delighted to have the opportunity to talk to our travel partners in Northern Ireland who are critical, have been always critical to our success and will continue to be critical to our success. We've got many great partners that we've worked with there for a very, very long time. And you know, throughout this time, it's, as I said, it's day 100 now of lockdown, which seems incredible. But throughout that time, right from the go-get, from when we started to all be in a situation of working from home, and then obviously all of the shops needed to close. A lot of the businesses were thrown into turmoil to start with. I don't think any of us believed we'd still be in this situation 100 days in. And it really just shows how the world is changing. So what's always been really important to us is, rather than saying, let's go completely quiet, let's just batten down the hatches and wait to see what happens, we very quickly said, what do we need to do to keep engaging our travel partners? And that's really been our focus throughout this time frame. So we're really working on three key areas at the moment. It's all linked to what we call our healthy return to service. So how do we make sure that we get the ships back in the water in the best way possible to ensure that our guests still have a great holiday, but they know that they have a very safe holiday? And I think the interesting thing about the cruise industry overall is that we already have very, very stringent health and sanitation protocols. And throughout this situation now, we're now moving into the next level. And we're working very closely together as an industry, so CLIA, the Cruise Line International Association, to make sure that all of the CLIA cruise line members adhere to the stringent new health protocols. Because it's really important to all of us that we make sure that our mutual guests, as I said, have a great holiday still, but they know that it's a safe holiday as well. So that's really the key focus that we're working on at the moment.
Great. Are you going to provide any materials to travel agents just to help them build consumer confidence again after the pandemic, really?
Sure. I mean, so what's really important to us is that we finalise where and when. We're still working through that, because the thing about this pandemic is it's still around us. You know, I mean, the difference between this pandemic and other industry situations that I've lived and worked through, such as, you know, 9/11 and the financial crash and the ash cloud, etc., is when the events happened, it's happened, and then you plan going forward. This is still around us, and also in some situations ahead of us. So the key thing is that we don't rush into it. The key thing is that we really get it right. But without a doubt, our core focus is our clear communication. Number one, to our mutual guests. So how do we let our guests know the clarity as to where we're going, when we're going, and how we're going? And then the key thing is making sure that our travel partners in Northern Ireland have all of the right tools and information to feel confident in being able to give our mutual guests the right information. And that is really key to us. So that training, education, and then for our own staff as well. So we need to make sure that all our own staff are retrained. And, you know, every ship will be really like a new ship launch as it goes back into the water. So it's quite complex. We're dealing with lots of different governments and borders around the world. But suffice to say that, you know, we're working through it, and one of the core focuses that we've got is making sure that we give our travel partners really good information that's easy for them to utilise.
Brilliant. With regards to the travel agent partners over here, will there be any sort of incentives for them? Will there be any introductory kind of like somewhat like a farm trip for them to get on board a ship and see how the changes really are implemented on board?
Yeah, so I think the key thing is that we need to make sure that we provide, in order to get to all of the partners, that we look at digital assets so that everybody can access it. Without a doubt, once we have the ships in these waters, then we will look to see how we can, without a doubt, get trade partners on board so that they can touch and feel and experience it, and gain that confidence through doing that. But the great thing is, in today's world, there's lots of different ways in which we can do that, such as virtual tours, and through computer generated imagery, etc. So that's really good news. The other thing that we have launched is our RCL Cares program, our website, which is for all 4 of our brands. So that's Royal Caribbean, Celebrity, Azamara, and Silversea. And we literally launched that within 2 weeks of lockdown, pretty much. And that's all about helping the travel partners, because we know that being inundated with so much information from so many different suppliers, helping them go to one place where they can get all of the government information. So it links through to all of the government information, helps them understand all of our global suspensions and the policies behind that, our Cruise with Confidence policy, that gives them the opportunity to either talk to the consumer about having 100% refund, or taking the advantage or the opportunity of 125% future cruise credit to use at some time in the future. So everything is all in one place. And what's really exciting is, literally just last week, we've launched Selling Beyond COVID. So a sales program for all of our travel agent partners. It will only take them about 90 minutes to complete the whole thing. There's 6 different modules, and to really help them, give them the confidence, having been through this terrible situation that we're all in, to help selling. So RCL Cares now, we plan to continue with that program even as we get back into our new world of post-COVID, and continue to add to it, continue to engage our trade partners. So we're doing things like wellness, resilience training. Yeah. So really how people can help adjust to this new world, as I said, that we're going to be going into, because, you know, the old world has gone. I think we are now moving into a new world, and I think there's lots of positives that we can take with us, but also there's, we all look forward to getting back into a situation where we can look one another in the eye and mix and mingle a lot better than we can today.
You mentioned earlier about the digital assets that will be available for agents online. What kind of things do they include?
So when we go to produce, obviously the deployment, so that's absolutely key. Key focus on all of the deployment, the new health and safety protocols that we will be undertaking. Everything literally from giving confidence for when the guests are making the booking, through to when the guests arrive at the port, to going on the cruise ship, to the destinations that we're taking the guests to, then to returning them home. So really all the way through.
Will there be some kind of virtual tours, like virtual walkthroughs off the ships and the new protocols? Is that something you're looking into doing?
Yeah, we're working through now as to exactly what we will include in that, but we're definitely going to make sure that it's very engaging, very interactive, and more importantly, easy for our travel partners to access. And that's, I think, the key thing when the travel partners are being inundated with information. I think it's really important that it's something easy for them to access. So that's something that we're really very much focused in on. And then you asked earlier about sort of engaging the trade. So all the way through, we've continued to do things like virtual coffee mornings, virtual meetings, training, because even those teams that are on furlough can do the training, for example. So a lot of travel partners whose teams are on furlough are encouraging them to access the RCL Cares website and to do the training that we are providing to the agent partners. Fun things we've been doing. So we've been celebrating Pride this month, with our virtual Pride, because it would have been our fourth year of Pride at Sea. So it's really important that we keep the trade partners engaged with that. We've had a wedding at sea of some of our crew members. The father was the chef, bride was his daughter. So that was lovely. And Captain Kate McHugh, our wonderful first female captain, married them at sea. So that was some lovely engaging content. And a lot of our crew members and actually our loyalty guests are posting lots of great social coverage with our hashtag We Can't Wait, because we generally can't wait to get our guests, our mutual guests, back on board, and to be able to host our travel partners as well again, which is key to us.
Will there be any kind of introductory offers that agents will be able to offer to their clients?
Well, we're already seeing some great green shoots for 2021. We really are, and from Ireland, from Northern Ireland as well, and there's a real popularity in our Caribbean from Northern Ireland, our Caribbean cruises, our Europe cruises for 2021, and Alaska as well. So, and within that, we're doing a series. We have already been doing a series of sales to encourage our travel partners, to help our travel partners in enticing new business. And we're seeing some good traction from that. So, for example, our Dream Big Sale, as we call it, which includes beverages, internet and gratuities, is really doing well. So we're constantly looking to see how we can help our travel partners drive demand for 2021, because we know people can't wait to go on holiday. So we know that things are now starting to soften and to open up a bit more. We've got to be careful about that, as we know, collectively. And whilst the crew, we're not yet back in the water, we are, as I said, seeing some really good traction for 2021. So we want to keep that going.
Is that more the focus now, 2021 and onwards?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Definitely.
Good.
Definitely.
Do you see a plan to return for winter cruises at the end of this year, or is that something that you're not sure of yet?
We just don't know yet. Yeah, as I said, at the moment, our healthy return to service, it's all about getting it right. And this is not something to be rushed at. So we're very focused on working with the governments around the world, working with the ports around the world. It all depends on what's happening where, when, and making sure that we have a healthy return to service. And it's just, at this stage, it's just not feasible to say where or exactly when that will be. The timing has to be right.